A week in the life of a foreign Cheyenne can be pretty damn interesting, I suppose, but that's nothing like what a survival limonist can experience in just a couple of days. I mean, this survival game is just full of interest and, I suppose, peril. But the interesting thing is, an exciting thing is that Mrs. and I went out and bought the fruit trees yesterday that I spoke of, and so we've got them out and planted them already in this fairly wet ground, so I'm about to build them up. I'm hoping that they're not going to get wet feet. But we've got a Packham's Triumph pear, which is an Australian variety of pear. We've got a Nashi fruit, which hopefully the guy in the actual nursery said that they will cross-pollinate with that, but I'm not 100% convinced of that, but we'll see. That's an existing mulberry tree I've put in, which has been growing for a while. My puppy dog Tessie, who was our favourite dog for many years, is buried underneath there, so that's our commemorative tree for our puppy. This is a Satsuma pear, Satsuma plum, and this one here is a Chandler walnut, which we believe is all the rage as far in Australia. We're growing lots and lots in Australia to try to get into the Chinese market and I think the Indian market. But anyway, and that's a double graft apple tree that we planted yesterday as well. And that's an Australian variety, Granny Smith, which is pretty famous around the world. I don't know whether it's known. I think it's known in England and Europe, but I don't know if it's known in America. And also double grafted with a pink lady. So we'll be transporting apples, no doubt, to the barbaric hemisphere in no time at all. That's just the start of the exciting things that have happened. With excitement and enthusiastic things, we have disasters as well. Bushfires, floods, raging storms. But then, and also, the survivors also got to contend with these things. Where the chooks got out yesterday, that's the veggie garden, that's the destruction they've done in the veggie garden. Terrible, terrible destruction. Look at that. I don't know how we cope with these things, to be honest with you. You probably can't see the damage there. I've just had to brush the soil back in, but oh dear, oh dear. And then here, a little bit of scratching around in there amongst my leeks there. I've had to overcome, I think I said in an earlier video that we survival limonists have to overcome these things. Luckily it hasn't been totally destroyed, so I think I'll be able to cope with that and keep going. I'm not one for giving up too easy. Now there's my aquaponics. Now I don't know whether you can see the fishies in there. Oh, you can, I think. Ooh. And I think they're gradually getting bigger. I give them fish food, but I don't know that they eat it, but they might occasionally throw some worms in there or some mealworms, but I don't know whether they're eating the proprietary fish food. Maybe it's causing algae to grow or something and they're eating the algae. I'm not really sure. They're silver perch anyway. There's I think 13 in there, and they're going to end up going in the big pond, or the sacred lotus pond. But there's some beetroot that I'm trialling in this aquaponics. And the aquaponics will get bigger eventually, but I'm just trialling it over a couple of years to see what grows and stuff. There's spinach, which is going quite nicely. It's interesting, the spinach I grow a while back was a bit bitter, and I didn't know whether it was because they're moving too acid for it. So I saw a YouTube clip, and the guy said on the YouTube clip just to put some eggshells and where the water runs in. So I've got to put an eggshell in there, like a hen's egg, and it's raised the pH. So I think that may be the reason that the spinach is now not bitter, which is quite interesting. That's going to be more of my aquaponics when I expand it. That's been there for quite some time. I haven't quite got around to it. I've been doing other projects, but I'm getting there gradually. But anyway, the reason I brought you over here mainly was to talk about the cranberries, which I needed to talk to David H about. I started off with my cranberries in there, my three plants in there, and I wasn't really satisfied with how they were going. So I did make a video at some stage about this pathway when I put soil in and plant the cranberries in there, which I did, but the actual stuff really, the water just, when I put water on the top of it, it just would not sink in and would not drain out the hole down the bottom of the bath. So I wasn't sure, but the plants didn't look, I don't know, it's hard to tell. I don't know much about cranberries, but I don't know that they were going that well. So I pulled them out of there and cleaned it out, and we've made it into a little pond. Again, and my wife and I have done this just to make a bit of an experiment to see what sort of things we can grow, because we'd like to actually get to the point of growing some aquatic food plants. So it's all, as you'll probably be aware by now, we survival liminists do a lot of experimenting. The only way to work out what works and what doesn't work, you can't really, for all the books and magazines and Googling I do, you can't learn everything by not doing it. You've got to get your hands dirty. So I'm trying a few different things to see how they go, which I'm no doubt you blokes or you guys will be finding incredibly fascinating, equally fascinated by it as I am. Now up here, in this this video is getting a bit longer, is another little pond that my wife wanted, because she ignore the wire there, we just put there to hopefully stop the birds getting in there. There's a couple of little fishies in there, goldfish. But this is the aesthetic part of the garden. My wife is the key player up here, to trying to make it a nice garden, because even survival liminists have to have nice things to look at. There's our copse of silver birch trees, which we've got a heap of bulbs in there, daffodils and snowflakes will hopefully come up in springtime, and that's going to be pleasing to the eye, but also useful, because as the leaves drop, hopefully in time I'll have plenty of leaves for the chook litter. But anyway, getting back to the cranberries, this is where the cranberries are now, and I'll get one of them out. Hang on, excuse the mucking around with the camera, but I don't really know whether those leaves are just show a sign of cold stress, or whether they're, you know, they kind of look alive but they're very dark. So Dave H, you might be able to tell me whether that, as a fellow cranberry growing expert, you're going to tell me whether that's dead or whether they're just natural coloration. They have grown us a little bit in the last year or so since I've been trying to grow them, I think, but yeah, I really don't know what their status is at the moment. So before I rush out and buy, you know, another 3 plants to get into a very heavy production for the foreign trade, I'd be interested to hear from you, Dave, to see whether you think that they're alive or not. I'll get close as I can. I don't know whether you can really tell, but I'm most interested to see whether you think that the cranberries change colour in the cooler months or not. Anyway, that's my little, my missus's little garden bed. She likes her little flowery stuff and greenery and that. Oh, women, they're interesting creatures, aren't they? Anyway, so as I said, a week in the life of a farm shiring can be pretty damn full on, but it's nothing like 24 hours or 36 hours in the life of a survival liminist. I'll tell you what, it's not easy to say that word. Anyway, until next time, see you later.